the natural lighting for me, honey. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you don't know, my name is Ja. My Instagram is Ja the Goat. You can follow me on there. I just started this Instagram. I know the whole Instagram thing has been like weird. People have been trying to follow me on this page, that page, this page. But the page to follow is Ja the Goat. Today I wanted to do something special because I am 26 now. I wanted to talk about 25 things that I learned by 25. 5 lessons that I learned by 25. And the first one, don't worry. Now I'm gonna say this, if you don't know Matthew 6:33 in the Bible, then it's something that I definitely try to live by, and it is, but seek ye first the kingdom of God and all his righteousness, and all these things shall be added onto you. So when I think about not worrying being the first thing on my list, I think about God, and I think about my faith in God, and still being faith driven. So when you worry, you're living by sight. You know, you're living by what you see. You see it's chaotic in your life, so you're gonna assume more chaos is to come. But when you give all these problems and give your anxiety and give your anxiousness or your worries to God, then I feel like you'll be better off. It's still something that I struggle with today, but that's why it's number 1 on my list. Number 2, let go of toxic relationships. All them that you met when you was younger, yeah, let them go. So it doesn't have to necessarily be let go of toxic people in your life. It could just be letting go of people who no longer serves your purpose. I think that's more important than like just letting go of anybody who's just toxic, because sometimes you just naturally outgrow people, and then you just need to know when to let them go. Which leads me to number 3. Build new relationships. When you're going out, be able to talk to people. If you go to spin class, be able to talk to the people next to you riding the bike. Try to build new relationships. I think it's easier to build new relationships when you're like a part of something, whether it's school, at work. Like, these are the places where you can meet people and build those type of relationships. And some people even use social media as a way to build relationships. I'm kind of weary about social media because I feel like you don't necessarily see the real person on social media. So if you guys have similar interests that you see, you could just comment, like on their page, and then maybe just build that friendship. And number 4, trust your intuition. There's this voice on the inside of you that says, don't do it. Believe yourself the first time. And I think trusting my intuition would have gotten me so much further in life, and it has gotten me far in life, by being able to spot and use my discernment that this is not okay, this isn't a safe space, and I can move forward. So trust your intuition is definitely a lesson that I've learned. Number 5, specialize in something. School isn't for everyone, but I do recommend going to college, because I went to college. I'm also in my master's program, so I did it twice, essentially. You don't necessarily have to go to college. You could do cosmetology school, you could do a trade, you could just pick up painting and just develop your hobby. Whatever it is you want to do, I believe that you should specialize in what you want to do, and that includes researching, that includes learning how to edit. You want to do videos, learning how to edit. You want to do photography, learning about light, learning about lighting, learning about angles. Like, it's so much things that you can do. That doesn't necessarily mean you have to go to school. Whatever skill you want to specialize in, regardless of what people say about school being expensive, it's all going to cost you. Whether you got to buy the equipment, whether you got to first market yourself, everything is going to cost you in the end, and at the end of the day. For number 6, I definitely believe that you should set time aside for yourself, whether that's self-reflection, journaling. One thing that I definitely mess up at is just waking up and being on the go, but not for myself, right? I'm on the go, I'm checking text messages, I'm checking Instagram, I'm checking this, I'm checking that, but I'm not checking in with myself. So definitely set a time aside for yourself will take you a long way, and it'll also help center you. I feel a lot of times when you wake up and you got this to do, that to do, it's not necessarily conducive to your mental health. Number 7, be cautious. My mom always tells me to be aware is to be alive. Be cautious. I think that's it. The statements in that sentence. To be aware is to be alive. Be cautious. Number 8, it'll pass. It'll pass. Whatever you're going through, it'll pass. Like, no matter what the trauma is, it always, when you're in it, it feels like it's going to be forever. It feels like there's no escape. If time definitely heals all wounds, it might not even heal a wound completely. It just might be like, you might not be healed completely. You might have a scar still there, but time, give yourself time, because it'll definitely pass. Number 9, not everyone is your friend. There's people who will smile in your face all the time. They want to take your place. They're called backstabbers. Backstabbers. Okay, backstabbers. And if you don't know that song, I really feel like you should know it, okay? Even though not everyone is your friend, number 10, not everyone is trying to hurt you. Not everyone's your friend, but also not everyone is trying to hurt you. So you can't live your life thinking this man is gonna hurt me, the last one hurt me, he reminds me of this person, this is that, this is, you know, you can't live your life like that. It is about taking chances, but also being smart about the chances that you take. Tying it up. It's all a similar theme, right? It's just all similar. Number 11, be patient with yourself. Sometimes you give up too soon, you know, too early. And sometimes you're riding a bike and you fall 1,000 times, you get up 1,001, and you actually, now you know how to ride the bike. But you needed those 1,000 falls to get you where you're at. So be patient with yourself. Practice makes progression, right? You're progressing in life. You're becoming better than the person you were yesterday. So just be patient with yourself. Number 12, not everyone is going to like you, sweetie. You can't sit with everybody. Not everyone is going to like you, so do you anyways. Like, that's literally what I'm getting. And it's something that even now today I struggle with, because I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't want to post this reel. I don't want to start making reels because I feel like people are going to judge me. They're going to think I'm hopping on the bandwagon of self-care, self-love. Oh my gosh, I don't want to do it. But not everyone's going to like you. Not everyone is going to like the content. You're creating stuff for yourself, for the people, and the people who's meant to see that and meant to view it is going to gravitate towards whatever you put out in this world. Your audience is going to gravitate towards you, whatever you do. So moving according based on how people feel about you is not a healthy way to live. It's not healthy at all. Dress how you want to dress. Do what the fuck you want to do. Number 13, ask for help. Don't be afraid to ask for help. Don't be afraid to go to office hours to get the extra assistance. Don't be afraid to ask your peers what's going on. If you're at a job, ask them what the hell is going on. I'm interested in this career. What should I be doing? Contact people. You never know who's going to respond, and you never know who's going to mentor you and guide you to the right path. Do it afraid. That's number 14. Do it afraid. You're scared of the public view and people's opinions. You gotta do it afraid, because there's literally no other way. Fear is just false. Fear is false. Fear, false. Fear, false. It's like false evidence appearing real. I think that's what they say, right? False evidence appearing real. Number 15, set big goals. Don't think small. You gotta think big. What's the quote? Yeah, think big. Bitch, think big. Set big goals, and then also set realistic goals, but set them big, because that's the only way you're going to make it out of your situation. That's the only way. Billionaires and millionaires, they think big. They're not thinking based on their environment, okay? You gotta think outside of your environment. So think big, set big goals, and go against the grain. But don't go on against the grain where it's like self-sabotaging, right? But let's say like you live in a family, a bunch of Republicans, and your political views align more with Democrats. Go against the grain. Go against the family order. do what's best for you. You see, a lot of people, when it comes to politics and a lot of other things and belief systems and religion, they just typically go with what their family taught them, you know, what's inside the household. Go against the grain. Go against it. All your friends are cheerleaders, but you want to play football? Do that. Do it. And do it afraid. Number 17, and it's the hardest one. Heartbreak will happen. I'm not saying you're bound to get your heart broken, but you kind of are. Whether it's like through friendship, through any type of relationship, through parents, you know, parents break your heart all the time. It's going to happen, and when it happens, it's going to make you stronger. You're going to take whatever lessons you learn from those types of situations and move on with your life. You have to be able to move on, but take what you can from that relationship. What did you learn about yourself in that situation? Oh, maybe you was too clingy. Maybe you was too needy. Maybe you didn't voice your opinion enough. Maybe you let them walk all over you. Maybe you didn't even like the person, but you went against your intuition. So what does that say about you going against yourself? Stop going against yourself. And in 18, love yourself. Going against yourself is not loving yourself. So love yourself, but love yourself in a way that you will love somebody else, that you truly love. What do? You cater to their needs. You see if they need help. You see how can you better assist them. Start thinking about ways you can better assist yourself. Dang, I've been gaining the weight, and actually I've been feeling pretty heavy and pretty shitty about how I look. Well, why don't I do some maintenance thing? Why don't I get my nails done? Why don't I get my hair done? Why don't I take myself out on a date? I've been feeling pretty lonely. Like, you have to love yourself, actively pursue and love yourself. I just think of it as if you're dating yourself, because that's what essentially it is, right? You want to moisturize yourself. You want to make sure your teeth is pretty, your nails are good, your feet is good, your everything about you smell good, you look good. All these things are just different ways to love yourself. You're exploring your horizons. You're broadening your horizons by traveling to different places and just doing different things. These are the ways that you can love yourself. And 19, it kind of goes with 18, is just taking care of your mental health. We all go through things. I think that everyone should go to therapy at least once. At least once. Just give it one shot. I think going to therapy isn't for the weak. It's definitely seek help, seek therapy. I think that's very crucial and very much so important. Number 20, tell your loved ones you love them. I think we don't say it enough. I don't think we hug each other enough. I don't think we acknowledge that we love our friends. Like, I tell people how much they mean to you. I think it'll make them feel good. It'll make you feel good. It'll also open the doors, let's say, for them to express themselves more to you. Tell you how much you mean to them. You never know where it'll go. And some people just need to hear it. So definitely listen to that. 21, be present. Be present in all moments. When you're on the phone with your friends, be present. Listen to them. Really listen to them. Don't be on the phone with them, scroll through Instagram. A lot of times I feel like we do that and we miss out on moments when people are crying out for help. So be present in everything that you do, in the work that you create, every single thing you do. Be present and be intentional. 22, advocate for yourself and others. I think this is something that I've been learning as far as like negotiations and like work goes. Is definitely advocating for myself. As soon as I got out of college, I was like, oh, is there room for negotiation? They was like, no, and I was just like, okay. Then I found out later that they let somebody else negotiate, all because I didn't negotiate. So there's moments, I'm not saying negotiate is the actual number. It's advocating for yourself. And what does that, you have to understand what advocating for yourself looks like for you. Whether you're in your household and you're doing majority of the things in your house, you're cooking, you're cleaning, and you're paying the bills, but you have other people in your household. Hey, can you help out with this? Actually, I'm too tired to do this, that, and the third. Can somebody do this? This is advocating for yourself and advocating for others. You've seen a crime done, don't be a bystander. But also don't let it be performative. We don't need performative advocacy. We don't need that. But definitely find ways to advocate for your community, whether that's even going to community review board meetings. Call your local priest and ask for a block party to advocate for your community, advocate for yourself, and advocate for others. It'll get you far. 23, one of the most important on this list is save your fucking money. Save your funds. Save your funds. If I could have it like in big letters here, save your funds. Save it. There's gonna be moments when, let's say, like you get into an accident. If you don't have $1,000 to pay for that deductible for your car, it's like, what's the point of you even having a car if you can't afford to pay for it to get fixed just in case? It's just so many avenues. Or let's say like rent is due and your company that you work for forgot to pay you, or something was wrong with the direct deposit. It's just like having emergency funds and having funds, extra funds, will get you so freaking far. It really would. So definitely have savings, have save your money. Try to save more than you spend, and then you could have even a separate account of just your spending money, but then have a separate account for saving money where you just don't touch. But moral of the story, everyone needs an emergency fund for whatever reason, whatever purpose. You could be stranded in Miami. You don't want to ask nobody to come get you home, because you shouldn't have been out there in the first place if you can't get yourself home. So save money. So 24, travel more. 24, travel more. 24, travel more. If you have the funds that you saved up, maybe you could save some money for traveling. But you don't even have to like necessarily go abroad or go to an island. What you can do is spend time like in a neighboring state, do a road trip to another state, and then just travel. Like once you begin to travel, you realize that the world you thought you lived in way bigger, and there's actual people outside of your bubble that are just as important as you are. So definitely travel more. And last but not least, health is wealth. And when I say that, a lot of Black and brown people die not only because, you know, there are racial disparities within the health system. That's a different topic for a different day. But generationally, there's been our relationships with food and exercising and just overall well-being hasn't been present and hasn't been shown in many households. So now we're in a place where we're seeing on social media, you know, Black and brown people working out, Black and brown people doing reels, doing self-care. And so I think that movement in itself is one of the most positive things that could have come out of COVID. And so I do believe health is wealth, and I do believe staying active, staying healthy, watching what you eat, praying over your food, praying over the hands that touch your food and make your food for you. I think all of those things are beneficial, and I think it will take you far as your lifespan. And it was this recent post that I was listening to that stated that your gut is connected to your brain. So whenever there's like some type of like unhealthiness or issues within your gut, like you best believe like this is where some of the stress comes from, this is where some of the anxiety comes from, and this is where some of the depression comes from. So treating your body with the respect and love that it deserves will definitely help you live a longer and happier life. So that is it. I said a mouthful in one sitting though, one sitting. So yeah, I said a mouthful, and I just hope that you could relate to someone, or 25, and you're still young. 26, I still feel like I'm 22. There's so much for us to learn and actively understand, and not everything on this list I've lived by. I've actually made so many mistakes, and understand that if I would have lived by some of these things on this list, those mistakes that I've made wouldn't have happened, but they made me who I am, and they allowed me to create such a thing to be able to share with you all. So I hope this video was helpful. I hope you enjoyed it. Oh my gosh, And this is just the 25 things that I learned by the age of 25. Yeah.